Hey everybody, so I'm back 2 days in a row. This is new for me. I get a lot of questions around, building, how to build a workout of your own. So many questions on how do I get started? What do I do? And I like to keep it simple. Even as a trainer myself, I know all these tools, but I still prefer the simple because it works. You don't have to get all crazy and fancy with the stuff we do for our workouts. And today I kind of want to just give you an easy blueprint that you can implement yourself right now to give yourself some solid workouts. Because let's face it, there was millions of resources out there for free on workouts. On Instagram, I find myself even scrolling, oh, that looks like fun, I'm gonna try that. Those number of resources. And when you can learn just the basic blueprint of how to pull a move you see and just put it into the equation yourself to make fun and simple workouts that you can do consistently to build that base, that's where it's at. And that's what I want to give you today. Just the basic blueprint of where to start. So if you're just starting out, maybe you've been trying for a while and not really seeing results, this kind of take what I say today and just kind of use what sounds cool to you and that works for you and toss away it doesn't. I'm going to give you a lot of info today, but again, I'm trying to keep it simple. So the major components of any workout, and I like to start with full body. So when you're just starting out, I always put my clients through full body exercises. That way you don't overstress any particular body part and you just get more muscles working. The more body parts you use in one workout, the more calories, the more muscle you build, lean muscle. And I think they're fun, personally. But starting out with 3 full body workouts a week, at least, giving a day rest in between. And that's where I start out. And in between, you can add in more cardio. You can go for walks. You can just do straight cardio. You can do core. You can do mobility. There's a lot of things you can do. But as far as like building strength and getting those type of workouts in, I'd start with 2 to 3 days a week and then add from there. But to build a basic full body workout, you want to think of this. You want to have a upper body push movement, an upper body pull movement, a lower body push movement, and a lower body pull movement with a core move. That's the magic right there. So let's go over what is that? What does that mean? So think upper body push, right? What do you think of? You push, right? Anything that's working the front of your body here. So when you're doing push-ups, that's a push move. When you're doing, overhead press, that's a push move. When you're doing, plank, even that is a push move because the plank works every part of your body. Anything that's working the front and you're pushing. Self-explanatory. Same thing with pulling, right? Pulling, that's working the back muscles. So things like single arm rows, right? I got my TRX here. If you don't have one, I suggest you get one of these. You can put them in any doorway, tree, park. They're so versatile, and I bring mine everywhere. That's on vacation. But pulling using this. So just doing your basic rowing movements. This. You can do flies. You can even do one of my favorite, I'll actually give you some more, moves for each one. I'm going to go over the basics right now. But anything that's pulling, right? Working the back, working the posture. And then lower body push. So lower body push is like squats, lunges, when you're pushing, right? And then the lower body pull, that's where people get confused. That's where it goes like, what? So think anything that you're pulling with. And the difference between a hinge movement, so to say, so it's like a deadlift, right? It's a pulling movement. So a squat, you're going like this, right? Right? You're going down and your hips are at knee level or below. With a hinge movement, you're not working so much the pushing muscles. You're hinging back, so your hips are staying above the knees, right? Your hips remain high. Some other pull movements for the lower body is like hamstring curls, right? Or straight leg deadlifts, or what else? Hip ups, right? And I'll go over these movements as well. But no, it's working the back side of your muscle, or your back side of your body. So it's working all those, the glutes, the hamstrings, all that. And then the core movements, you know core movements, right? So I'm going to give you a brief overview of a few examples of each movement that you can plug in, just to give you some ideas to start off with. And then from there, any movements you find on Instagram or on here, I plan on giving you a lot of videos and keep the information coming. And you can always, comment below with any questions, of course. I like hearing from you guys. Hashtag replay if it's a replay. So I want to know what you guys need too. I want to be here for you to give you information. But anyway, upper body push. So I mentioned push-ups, right? Push-ups. Even plank is technically an upper body push because you're still working isometrically. You're holding that position. You're working the whole front side of your body. And overhead press. You can really mix up the pushes too as well with the push-up variations. There's so many different moves out there. So you can do the shoulder tap push-ups. You can do TRX push-ups. So shoulder tap push-ups, right? You're right here. You can be on your knees or down here, here, down, right? You can do crawls. That's core, but it also works the entire upper body. So right here, you're crawling. You can even do X taps too, which is one of my favorites. You can do it here, or you can do a leg up like this. That's all pushing, right? So there's 3 examples right there. Anything that's working that, so like bench press, all that. I'm just giving you some body weight moves since a lot of people don't have a gym right now. And then pull, right? Single arm rows. When you're bending over, you're rowing. You can do TRX rows. You can do, if you don't have any equipment, a sneaky way to work not just the push muscles, but the back too. One of my favorite movements is a scap push-up, or I call it push-up plus a lot. So what you're doing is you're in a push-up position, you're pushing the shoulder blades away. So you're pushing that upper back up, right? So here, retract, push, pull. So your shoulder blades are moving away and together. And what you do is you just get in the push-up position, here, down, away, up, down. And that actually works the posture muscles. If you have a band, you can totally do pull-aparts. One of my favorite as well. So right here, straight arms, straight wrists, squeezing the shoulder blades. Just like that. Another one you can do with this body weight too is swimmers. So right here, you're lying down, squeezing the butt. Your head can be on the ground, the forehead can be on the ground, or up. But right here, you're trying to keep the shoulder blades in the back pocket and hover. So touch behind. So those are just a few basic moves just for posture. And that's working the back. So the next, lower body. So lower body push. We know a shit ton of lower body push. You got the lunge, you got the squat, all those variations. But a few if you're just starting out, like say you're not quite great at squats yet, or you're not quite, great at lunges, still working on the form. A few variations that you can do is isometric holds. So what that means is holding the position, or you can do pulses. And that's a great way to learn the movements as well. Because, we all have heard of squats, all that. But some things you can do is, like I said, you can hold it, you can pulse it down and up, and it's getting that isometric to not only learn the movement properly and own these positions, but you also get a shit ton of tension. Because the name of the game when you're doing full body is the most amount of work in the least amount of time. So short rest breaks. Trying to get more into a less amount of time, that increases your bone, that increases your lean muscle, right? And another variation you can add too is explosiveness. So when you do feel comfortable with it, add some explosiveness to it. That's a great way to increase your calorie burn and lean muscle as well. So you can do like jump squats, right? So right here, jump up. You can do switch lunges right here. And another really great move that I absolutely love, and my clients hate, are surrenders. It's a great way to work the core if you hold a weight here too. But what you do is you go up with one leg, pushing through the heel, core tight. So you go up, up, then you go down with the same leg, switch it, up, up, down, down, okay? And it always confuses people. So when in doubt, just go up and down. So right here. So basically the first one to lead is also the first one to go down, and you lean down with. But those are great to hold a kettlebell with too. And do like 20 of those, and your heart rate's up, your core is boning, your booty's boning, all that good stuff. And then the pull. So let's give you a few examples of some lower body pull movements. You know, you got the classic deadlift, right? So deadlift, you can have a weight, kettlebell, what have you. You're hinging down. So the key here is flat back, and you're not squatting, right? So you're working the hamstrings and glutes here. This is a deadlift. See? That, okay? This is a squat. Two different movements. And one's primarily a push, so you're working more of the quads here, and one's more of the pull muscles, so the hamstrings, the glutes, all that. But some more examples of pull movements, especially if you don't have weights, you know, you can use these guys. These can be your best friend. The home workout kit right here. Sliders, but you can also get furniture moves at any Home Depot or hardware store, Fred Meyer. But that's basically what these are. You can do hamstring curls with those. I don't have the surface in here to do that, but I will be doing a slider tutorial later on, so keep out for that. But hamstring curls are basically when you're doing this, right? Hamstring curl, right here. I'm just laying down the sliders when I do it. You can also do it in the TRX and all that. Some other pull movements are, let's go down a little bit, hip ups. So if you're not good with deadlifts, you're just starting out, this is how you learn deadlifts. Right here, learning how to hinge. So squeezing the butt up, keeping the core tight, up and down. Pushing through the heels. And you can do single leg if you feel good. Just like that. That's a pulling movement. Even though you're pushing, you're still getting those pull muscles. And that's where it gets confusing, right? So rule of thumb, if you're feeling those hamstrings and glutes a lot, you're probably doing a pull movement. Not that you don't feel them in squats, but in squats and in push movements like that, you technically will work more the quads. You still get glute action, but you're definitely working more the front. And then, let's see, another great pull movement is a single leg deadlifts, or you know, like the half moon pose or warrior, whatever they call it. I'm not really that into yoga. Trying to be. Right here, single leg deadlift, right? No body, no weight, you don't need any weight. You can do holds, but that's a hinge as well. It's a deadlift, it's with one leg. And that's great for building up the outer glute muscles, the hip muscles, stabilizers, core, full body. And then, let's see, what other pull ones are there? Another pull one. These are one of my favorite glute moves that I like to introduce to people, and it also builds mobility, but it's really great for learning how to hinge. So you're gonna go to the side, squeeze the butt up and through. So you're hinging, right? You're working the back muscles. Lower down slow, switch it. You can see me now, hinging, squeeze, lower down slow, long back, okay? So that's another hinge movement. I want to give you some good hinge movements so you have in your head what that means. And core, you know, I did a whole video on core you can check out. But we all know some core moves out there. They're everywhere. But my suggestion, as I said in my core video you can check out, is if you're just starting out, start with your back supported. So those moves I gave you in the video, like dead bug and just, you know, boat pose, all that good stuff, I suggest you do that. So you know, some of those variations right here, like I had you do in the video, just marches, taps, right, dead bug, just holding, right, you have your knees bent, anywhere your back is supported, okay? And I say that because a lot of times we get into a plank position or some complicated core move and we don't know how to properly engage all of our core muscles or stabilizers or deep ab muscles that need to fire first. Instead, we're just trying to focus on those six-pack with crunches. So start with the stabilizing moves, the holding moves with your back supported, especially if you do have back pain doing a lot of the other core moves. So that's a little trick I like to give people. And then let's talk about, what else did I have in mind? Oh, I will get to my favorite lower body moves in a minute. I promised Megan that I'd talk about that today. But I did want to talk about too, just some ideas to put it all together into an actual workout. So you have the basics now. What are some ways that you can create a workout out of that? So some of my favorite things to keep it interesting and to make a game out of it is I like AMRAPs. As many rounds as possible. I should say as many quality rounds as possible. So key here is do good reps. Don't waste reps and energy just doing sloppy shit, okay? That doesn't do anything and it usually ends in injury. You're not activating the right muscles and all that. So it's just training bad positioning. So think quality, okay? Even if I'd rather do 10 great reps than 20 sloppy reps any day. But AMRAPs I love because, you know, you don't have to think too much about it. You just go. So basically an example of an AMRAP that I did even today was I did, you know, 20 double unders, jump rope. I did 20 kettlebell swings. I did, what did I say I do? Rocks, so hollow rocks, a core movement. And basically what I did was I set a timer for 10 minutes and I just did as many rounds as I could of 20, 20, 10 I think it was. And so I just did as many rounds as I could. I took breaks when I needed to, kept the breaks under 60 seconds and just kept going. So what I like to do is I can do 10-minute AMRAPs and do a couple of them with a break in between. You can do 20 minutes, just non-stop, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It's one of my favorite types of workouts. I do a lot of those. And then as well as just interval-based stuff. So like time, right? You can do start with 30 seconds on, you know, 30 to 60 seconds rest. Hey.
You like my hair?
Jess is home. But interval stuff. So like 30 seconds on, 60 seconds rest to start off. If that feels good, drop that rest time down. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And then another way you can amp it up is try, you know, 40 seconds on and 20 seconds rest. Those are my two favorites to do. It keeps you going. And what you can do is just do, you know, pick those fundamental movements, plug them in, you know, and then just go. You know, aim for 3 to 5 rounds. And, you know, it's super simple. You know, you can another way to do it is, you know, interval. I like to do density intervals, but I do it with songs. So I'll pick a song from like, you know, 3 to 5 minutes or so, and when I press play, I pick 2 to 3 moves to do as many rounds as I can, take a break, either do it again for another song, or pick another couple moves to get the rest of my body and do it again. There's so many ways to keep it interesting. And the beauty is of AMRAPs and intervals and all that is you can even keep track of your reps and rounds and just, you know, make a game out of it. Okay, next week I'm gonna do 1 extra round on that AMRAP. You know, last week I got this, but I'm gonna aim for this. I'm gonna do this many reps. You know, those are some of my go-tos, especially if you just don't really want to think too much. You just kind of want to get into the music and just go. You know, you don't really have to count too much for intervals at all. That's why I like time, personally. So I'm a really bad counter. You can ask my clients. Don't ask me to count. But those are my go-tos as far as that. And another thing you can do too is ladder workouts. I do those a lot as well. So you can do the list of movements. So pick out, those fundamental movements, push, pull, core, all that. And basically what you do is you start with 10 reps of each. So you go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, all those reps. And then you go all the way down to 1 rep. So each round is 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 1. And you do it for time. That's another way to kind of track your progress. Like how fast can you do it? Quality reps though, do not forget that. But yeah, those are some basic ideas of what you can do with all this information flying around out there. Just learn how to put it together. It's a simple equation. Yeah, when you want more advanced results, or you want to mix it up, there's always more stuff you can do, and as a professional, like that's what I give people. But if you're just looking to get into it first and just kind of do things on your own, I get it. And this is what I wanted to give you today, is kind of get you started, get you understanding, and just get you having fun with it. And another thing I want to talk about briefly before I get into my booty moves that I like, I want to say, if you can commit at least 20 minutes to your body a day, 20 minutes of some kind of movement for 30 days, that will start to get you that progress you want. You got to commit at least 20 minutes. When I say 20 minutes to your body, that can be walking. We underestimate walking. Walking is a great workout, especially if you're just starting out too. I walk all the time. I don't like to run anymore, I just don't like it. My joints don't like it, but hopefully with this new supplement I'm taking, my joints will like it more. But the key here is consistency. So pick something, get a plan together of something that you can do every day. And we all have 20 minutes. Even if you do 2 10-minute things, at least 20 minutes a day. Obviously the more you can do, like 30 to 60 minutes of movement, awesome, but start with 20. Start small and build on it. Because the key here is always getting into the body. We see our body as something separate as ourselves. We see it as something we have to, we don't have control over. We just have to, not connect to it and just work it and beat it up to try and get it the way we want it to be. But when you commit 20 minutes to your body a day, of connecting to the body with these workouts, when you step into that workout, really feeling it, really having intention behind it, and seeing what your body can do, having appreciation will amplify it so much more. Because you have total control of your body. It starts with just getting to know it. And spending 20 minutes is in your workouts, getting to know it, and getting to love it again is really key here. But I'll get off that rant. And I want to finish up with just a really good booty routine that I love. So, I actually picked this up from, I forgot his name. I can put it in the comments. But I saw it on Instagram, and I liked it. I liked the combo. I kind of tweaked it to my own needs. But it was a interval, just 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and it was pulse squats. So heels elevated pulse squats. And the reason why you elevate your heels, you've seen about this thick of something. So you can roll up a towel or something, or find something about this thick, about what, ½ inch. I'm not really good with math. But heels elevated helps you mobility-wise get to the depth you need to really activate the glutes. So when you elevate the heels, you're coming down and pulse up, down, up, down. You can hold weight, be creative at home. You don't even need weight for this. But you're staying down here in that isometric position. So you do 30 seconds on, right? You get 30 seconds rest. And then what you can do after that is go straight into hip ups here, right? You can make it harder with single leg, or you can keep it up and do marches. And then after that, go into just a isolation move. And I like to do either, if you don't have equipment, that's fine, but you can do these guys right here, up, 30 seconds, can be 30 seconds on, rest, 30 seconds off. Or you can be a total badass and do density intervals, just do no rest. So 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, and rest at the end. Another one that I did with this was X-Walks. Really great glute move. These are pretty cheap. It's a band. You step into it. You want one a little bit thicker than this, but it's what I have available right now. So right here, sidewalks. Right? Works the whole outer hip. I like pairing isolation exercises with the main movements because it really increases that activation. So if the following round, you're going, it's on, and you're in maximal activation. Another one you can pair to that I've already shown with surrenders. That's a great glute movement and core, especially if you have a weight right here. Like be creative, hold your kid, dog, cat, cans of something, a bag, backpack, fill up a backpack. But it's doing the surrenders here, right? Stand up, come back down. Just like that. Really focusing on pushing through the heel, okay? That's a great glute move too. Another great, pretty much my go-to as far as the single leg stuff, I like to do a leg complex. So if you're, instead of just doing the lunges, what I like to do is I do a reverse lunge, right? I get up into that pole movement, hold for a second, come back into a lunge, step up, pushing off with this leg, dragon lunge right here. So I'm going across, keeping my knee over my ankle, here, and then still pushing off this heel. That's a combo I like to do as well. So combo moves are great for calorie burn and maximal activation too. Another great glute move that, when I first did, I cramped like hell. But you can do leg lifts. So what you want to do is you want to sit on your heel if you can, right? And then, so you got this angle. I'm going to show you from this angle now. Have the legs straight out, okay? So my foot is just on the ground, okay? Sitting on my heel. I'm trying to keep this leg locked out. Hips as square as possible. Leg lift, just like this. You can hold it. You should be feeling the side hip right here, the lateral hip. That's super important for glutes. Because most of us just work the glute max in the back, the booty. You want to get the hip too. So right here, and the first time I did this, literally got like barely an inch off the ground. Totally okay. But just make sure you're feeling it here. So core tight, keep the legs straight, so really flex that quad. But doing like 10 to 20 of those on each side is a great alternative to the X-Walks, or if you even just have a band. The band is always great for adding that extra glute bone into your workouts as well. So you can put it above the knees, and you can do squats with it. You can do in and outs with it, like that. Or you can just do monster walks like this, back, forward, side. And that's a great way to get the extra glute bone too, along with the hip ups. You can do it with the band. Another one. I sound like DJ Khaled. But another great glute boner as well is just the pulse squats too. So really pulsing the squats. So staying here in a split squat position, you can hold it, you can go up and down, make sure you're pushing through this leg. Do that for 20 or 30 seconds and your glute will be on fire. So as I said before, isometric stuff is great for building that lean muscle. And getting that mix of moderate rep to high rep with the isolation stuff, like the side raises, the X-Walks, all that, is a great way to add to the squats and the hinges and all that. So those are my go-to as far as glute moves goes, especially if you're just starting out. There's obviously more, but those are great for building that strong foundation. So building up those stabilizer muscles and really getting, you know, the hinge motion down, because a lot of people have trouble with that, the hinge versus the squat. So I hope that helped you today. You can let me know if you have any questions. You know, give me a heart or a like if you know you saw this and you liked it, just so I know what you guys like and what you guys don't like. And like I said, any other questions you have, feel free to ask.